Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for the week of January 23 through 29, 2024. Back to doing weekly readings now. I think I mentioned that last week. This is a reading for you if you are Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Moon, Capricorn Rising, or other significant Capricorn placement in your chart, and you feel like this reading may resonate with you. It's a general reading, don't forget, so there may be aspects of it that don't seem to apply. So take what applies to you and leave the rest. If you're returning to this channel, welcome back. It's good to have you back again. And if you are new to this channel, then welcome. It's good to have you here. I hope you find this readings helpful. For everybody, please do, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. Give a thumbs up if you like this reading to help increase its visibility. And leave me a comment if you would like. So the description down below has the link to my PayPal donations. If anybody, obviously nobody's obliged to do that, but sometimes people have donated, and I want to say thank you to those of you who have. And also there is a link to my website, which is liminalreiki.com. My business is called Transition Life Coaching. And as you notice, this is Liminal Tarot. I have Liminal Reiki is the name of the website, because that was what I originally called it, but it was a little bit too confusing for people. But anyway, if you can check out my website to see what I offer in terms of spiritual coaching services, dealing with transitions in particular, which includes astrological charts, both Western and Vedic, human design, tarot, oracle, Reiki therapy, actually a whole lot of stuff. And if you follow my channel on Instagram, transition.life.coaching, that is where I will do daily oracle card pulls, and where I also give some information about the processes that I use to help people work through transitions. So you can, if you're on Instagram or on Facebook, it's on Facebook as well, just as Transition Life Coaching, 3 words. You can feel welcome to follow there. What I'm going to be doing with this reading is a 12-card astrological spread. So we look at the different houses of astrology and to cover all aspects of your life. We start with the Cartouche deck, which is my favorite one to use. It's an Egyptian system, oracle card system, and then I use it with tarot deck, and the deck I'm using this week is the Guardian of the Night Tarot by MJ Cullinane. And I will be ending with an essential oil oracle card. Okay, so let's start at the beginning here. If you're not familiar with how I do this, you'll catch on pretty quick. Aries. Okay, so this is the energy that you have. Aries is the first house. You're not an Aries, you're a Capricorn. But the first house has to do with your personality, how you present yourself, how other people see you, how you want to be branded, how you want other people to see you. And now we have Urias with the Ace of Swords. So, wow. Ace of Swords, there's a stark clarity that comes in with the Ace of Swords. It usually comes in the form of a message or some kind of an unexpected thing that happens, really fast. And I don't know, this seems to indicate that there's going to be something that's happening or that has happened that has given you a tremendous amount of clarity about yourself and where you're going. And I have a feeling whatever this is, we're talking about something that's unexpected. Now, if this hasn't happened, that may be what's on tap for this week. Because Urias indicates has to do with things that take us by surprise to some degree, that are a little bit unexpected or just not what we thought. And the fact that it's showing up in your house of identity suggests that there could be something that completely changes the way that you look at something. Urias, though, also tends to indicate that there may be things that we are keeping to ourselves or feel that we need to keep to ourselves right now. So whatever this is, it may be something that you don't share with others for the time being because you are still maybe trying to absorb it for yourself. But yeah, it definitely seems like there is going to be a very quick and sudden change that may have to do with your identity. Like you may make a sudden decision to change careers. You may have a sudden change of relationship status. You may, something maybe you've been identified with for a long time. Suddenly you say, yeah, no, forget it. I'm not identifying with that anymore. Like something that happens that makes a change. So yeah, take that as it resonates. But that's definitely this sense of some kind of clarity coming in that may not be something that you're expecting, it's going to bring about a big change for you. Second house is finances. It's Taurus energy. ruled by Venus. First house is ruled by Mars. This is energy of your money, your possessions, and also your values. Now you have Ankh with the Chariot. So now, again, as I've said, literally for some of you, Chariot is Cancer energy. This tends to have to do with love and also with things that we do love, that we're passionate about, that make us feel alive. So for some people, this literally has to do with making money, doing something connected to love, whatever that is. You could be a couples counselor, you could be selling certain types of products, you could be, all kinds of possible things, but that isn't necessarily what that means here. I feel like more generally, it has to do with doing something that you love, like making your money or bringing money in a way, and also maybe spending it in a luxurious way as well. And so with the Chariot, I don't know, maybe some of you are going on a trip because the Chariot does have to do with travel, and maybe this is a luxury for you, a vacation or something that you're spending money on. This would definitely be encouraging you to do that if you are feeling, if this is something that's on the table for you and you've been wondering, should I? Certainly if it's doesn't have to do specifically with a trip, then this would definitely have to do with, committing yourself to a path, doing something that you love to make money. And the Chariot would be about taking control of something. There could even be travel involved that's connected with this as well. But the Chariot to me is about, taking control of the situation, establishing what the limits are of something, and also establishing what direction you want to go in. Third house is Gemini energy. This is very strongly associated with Mercury. So this has to do with communications, short-term travel, sibling relationships, and if you are in your own business, this could have to do with self-employment. You have the Lotus with the Magician. Okay. So Lotus has to do with calming the mind. So I don't know, I feel like maybe it's connected to what's happening here in the first house where there's this sudden message coming in. So maybe there's a need to not worry about something, because Lotus, I find, it is the card of peace of mind, okay? But I find it comes up when we are maybe in a situation where we're not having peace of mind. So this may be saying a need to calm the mind. I feel like whatever you might be learning here or what might be changing, as much as it might shake you up, I feel like there's a sense that it's not something you have to worry about. Because the magician is the energy of manifestation. So I feel like there is something you have manifested, or that you have the tools or the talent to make something happen. So the magician is definitely about something moving forward. Maybe it's something that you have thought, this is something that's not going to go anywhere, because Lotus can also have to do with peaceful continuity. But now there seems to be this sense of something that is manifesting for you. And it's a good thing. It's not something you want to avoid. This may be where you are moving towards doing something that you really love. I mean, maybe you do something you really love already, but there just seems to be some kind of a goal or something that you're trying to manifest. There does seem to be some concern about it. So whether this does have to do with a business, or whether this has to do with just some other messages that are coming in about something else of concern, there definitely seems like there's going to be forward movement and manifestation. There's definitely a sense that there's something that you can do. It's not a situation where you are stuck. Okay, fourth house, this has to do with the home, the family, your sense of security, sometimes with the mother. Okay, yeah, and we have Isis here, so this is definitely a mother card in the mother house. And we have it with the Five of Swords. So for some of you, maybe there's some difficulties with your mother, maybe there's some quarrels. Five of Swords can indicate, when we are at odds with somebody, sometimes when there's jealousies, or just when there's a situation where you feel like you're arguing and you can't really win, okay? Which, not to project here, but that does sound like a lot of mother situations. At least it sounds like mine a lot of the time, and I'm not Capricorn. But there could be some issues around the mother for some of you. Now, if there's not a mother element in the equation, this could just be Isis. Could also have to do with a situation that has, that somebody maybe is not revealing or keeping to themselves, because Isis is sort of behind the veil as well, kind of like the High Priestess of the Tarot. And you may be in this situation where where there's something maybe you're discovering or finding out, or something you have to be patient with. but there seems to be some kind of a quarrel here. I don't know. I feel like whatever this is more, it could have to do with your home or your physical home, but I feel like this has more to do with a family situation of some kind. So if it's not your actual mother, this could be just somebody else in a motherly role or acting in a motherly way. I feel like that's the energy of what's going on here. So we'll see how that plays out in the rest of the reading here. Fifth house, this is Leo energy. This is ruled by the sun. And Leo is about play, leisure, things that you like to do, creative projects, love affairs, and also potentially with children. Okay, now you have the devil with the winged disc here. Okay. This is interesting because I saw a very similar thing for Sagittarius. Devil here indicates a codependent situation. Now, this could be a love affair. This could be something about keeping a child dependent in a situation. And there's a sense of needing to overcome or transcend this to free somebody. If it doesn't have to do with a child or a love affair, then maybe there's some other kind of toxic project or situation you've been mired in that you need to let go of. Maybe there's a need to watch out for excess, because if this has to do with leisure, maybe you don't want to go out, be drinking too much, smoking too much. It could be a sense of not wanting to do that. But I feel pretty strongly that this is either a child or a loved one or a lover or something where there may be a codependency here, and there's a need to set somebody free. Okay, this is about somebody moving out, becoming more independent. And I don't know. Now, that might be what the argument is here in the fourth, because for some people, whether this is you or whether this is like your own mother or somebody else's mother, maybe there's a sense that you have been supporting somebody here, and this is creating friction, because, somebody who feels like maybe this is your duty and obligation, and if you tell this person, no, this is not good, I shouldn't be doing this, they may be arguing with you about it, and it may be a no-win situation. That may be the situation. That may be the case for some people. What this seems to be assuring you, though, is that cutting somebody loose here, or if it does have to do with addictions and so forth, like, working towards sorting that out, cleaning that up, or, dealing with that, there definitely is a promise of success here, and promise that this is definitely the right way to go with something. There's definitely, I feel like there's action that needs to be taken here. Maybe that's where this action is coming in, and Lotus may have to do with the way in which we, any anxiety that you have about it can be released. So yeah, I do feel like there's something like that. If you are recently dating somebody or in a love relationship, be careful of the devil, because sometimes that is just somebody who could be very, very possessive, or maybe somebody who just could be potentially a toxic influence. Now, of course, this is the card of Capricorn. It is your own energy. So, so I don't know. So Capricorn, it can also be, maybe potentially you're just dealing with somebody who's another Capricorn. So if you say like, gee, I don't have any situations like that, and I'm in a relationship and it doesn't feel like it's codependent or anything like that, or this person's a problem, then maybe it's just fine. And maybe we're just dealing with somebody who is a Capricorn who you're now getting involved with. But generally speaking, I feel like, especially with the Five of Swords here, and this feeling of needing to make a change on something, there's a lot of stuff around family situations here that makes me think that that's what this is, at least for somebody. Okay, sixth house is Virgo energy. So Virgo has to do with health, has to do with jobs, career, or things, ways in which you are of service to somebody. It can also have to do with worries. Okay, so you have Hathor with the Ten of Pentacles. Again, we're back to this kind of mother energy and this legacy energy. Ten of Pentacles has a lot to do with family. I mean, it also has to do with completion and success. Having money, having enough to give, having plenty of something. So maybe there's a concern about this. Maybe a concern, actually what's jumping into my head is a concern about whether or not somebody's going to have a legacy. Because maybe if you have somebody maybe you have a mother who's giving money away to somebody constantly, this may be saying that has to stop. You know what I mean? Or there's worries that there's not going to be a legacy. Okay, this is not showing up in the reverse, but I feel like that might be the message here. And so there's this need. Hathor is definitely somebody who is taking charge, taking control. This is feminine energy and domestic energy in its best form, okay? The Empress kind of standing up and taking power, as it were. Now, if this has to do with a health situation, this may have to do, I would say that if you are dealing with a health issue, there could be certain things for some people around diet, because Hathor has a lot to do with nutrition and foods that you might be intaking. And again, this may or may not apply to you. And my caveat when I do anything regarding health is I'm not a doctor. So if you are having aches and pains about something, then definitely go see a physician. But this is, for some people, there could be some issues that are occurring now because of dietary things as well. But I don't know. I feel like there's a connection here because there's a strong family vibe with a lot of these things. And I feel like whether it's you or whether it's your mother or somebody who's a mother, there just seems to be some concern about somebody and their finances here, and maybe somebody, maybe a child who is too dependent on those finances. Okay, so again, that's true for somebody. And like I said, weirdly, it's not exactly the same cards, but it's a weirdly similar energy for Sagittarius. So I don't know if somebody involved is also a Sag, but interesting. Okay, 7th house, this is relationships. So it's marriages, legal partnerships, binding, business partnerships, anything where there may be a contract or a kind of legally binding agreement between people, because this is Libra energy. Libra is also Venus, but it's there's the idea of the scales here. And so we have the Emperor with Pyramid, okay? So the Emperor definitely, there's definitely a strong father energy here with Emperor. So if you are married and this is a woman watching the reading, maybe this has to do with your spouse. Maybe your spouse is a strong kind of take charge person. Maybe something is going on that is testing the situation, because Pyramid does have to do with something that's a test or a challenge. So again, and genders don't necessarily have to matter. So this could be the female in the situation as well, but it could be somebody who's an Aries potentially, because Emperor is very much an Aries energy. So if you are in a marriage situation, if you feel like this family situation applies to your immediate family and say not your parents, then maybe you have a partner who wants to take charge of things, and maybe there's some friction there about that. This is something that's going to be sorted out eventually. But if that's not the case, let's just say you're unmarried and wondering about a relationship, then I feel like there is somebody who's very solid here. Again, possibly an Aries person, but something that's going to be resolved with time. Okay, so something that's going to happen over time. If it doesn't have to do with a marriage or with your marriage, then this could just be a very kind of a strong relationship that you may have here, or maybe I don't know, this could be a boss figure, this could be somebody like that, where there may, again, this always brings some kind of test that you will come through eventually. So something connected to some kind of binding partnership or relationship here. This could actually even be a test about control, who's going to be in control of a particular situation. So take that as it resonates. Let's look at the 8th house here. This is Scorpio energy, so this is the house of transformation. It's the house of other people's money. And also, birth, death, a little bit more esoteric things, but the main things have to do with transformation and with other people's money. Okay, so you have Osiris with the 6 of Swords. Osiris, again, more Sagittarius energy here. I mean, you're Capricorn, but this is, again, there's a strong element of the Emperor here too, like trying to establish something that's solid, creating a solid foundation, being able to rely on your own judgment. And this, they're definitely, the fact that I'm looking at Lotus card over here, I feel like there's a situation where everybody thinks everything's going to be turned upside down, and in fact, everything is perfectly stable and it's fine. No matter what's going on, it does seem like you are going to have that level of stability. 6 of Swords, okay, for some people, this could be taking a journey somewhere. Oftentimes, this is journeying away from difficult situations, like we have the 5 of Swords down here. The 5 moves to the 6. So I feel like whatever situation's going on, it will move to calmer water. But 6 of Swords also can have to do with looking at a situation for what it really is. In some decks, this is called the card of science. And what needs to be done there is to say, okay, let's sort out the way I want things to be from the way that they are. So there may be an element of that going on. I just feel like there's a whole lot of taking control, soul searching, making decisions, trying to, having the wool that's open, the scales drop from your eyes. I guess that's the phrase, right? There's definitely a sense of that in this reading, that there's some kind of situation that you've not been seeing, and now it's like, okay, now everything's clear, and now I know exactly the way I'm going to go with it. Okay? All right, 9th house. This is Sagittarius, and this has to do with long distance travel. It has to do with expanding. It is Jupiter energy, so it's expansion in the sense of like higher education, learning, sometimes philosophy and religion, deeper thought. Basically, it's just about anything that may expand your horizons, whether it be through travel or whether it be through learning. Sometimes it has to do with legal matters as well. But you have Sirius with the Queen of Cups. Okay, so I was mentioning to a lot of people in readings this week that Pluto has just moved into Aquarius. And in fact, the day I'm doing this is the 21st. And Pluto moved into Aquarius yesterday evening, well, okay, Eastern Standard Time, about 7:58 p.m. roughly. And this is a massive, massive shift. And I'm interested to see where the Aquarius card shows up in different people's readings because it says to me where these changes may be coming in for you. So Sirius here in the 9th house for you, Capricorn. I feel like this is about expanding your horizons. This is about learning something new. Again, with this change here in the 1st house, I feel like there's energies that you are, I don't know, it's almost like new horizons are being opened to you. So whether this means you're going to travel, whether this means you are just going to really start thinking about things differently, this is about thinking outside the box, okay? So, I mean, you could be going and taking classes on things, on new kinds of technologies or new ways of doing things. That is possible here. Or you could just be involved in a course of study or get involved with something that is going to enable you to see a bigger picture or see something in its broader perspective. And the Queen of Cups, this definitely has to do with love and with being in the heart space. Okay, so I don't know. This could be something for some of you. You could be taking courses on expanding your intuition, or on psychic development or something like that. That's always possible with the Queen of Cups. But it could just be a situation where you are learning maybe more with your heart than with your head. I feel like just looking at the cold clinical narrative of something may not be the only way to do things. And it's interesting because I'm seeing this Ankh in the 2nd house here. So I feel like you may be moving more into a space where you are learning more about yourself, about what you love, and relying a little bit more on your intuitive knowing, and maybe not so much on just, strict logic and facts, which, I don't want to discount strict logic and facts, but they're not the only source of information that we have. And a lot of times we may be learning how to use these other ways of knowing, which may actually tell us more about our life than just looking at what's directly in front of us. Which may be illusory here. So yeah, there's definitely the strong feeling that you are expanding your horizons. I also want to note that the Sagittarius house is a house of freedom. And I say that because I'm seeing this devil down here in terms of a connection to somebody. And I feel like, yeah, like there's definitely an urge here towards freedom for you, or towards freeing yourself from something. Now, if I look at the 10th house, which is your own house, Capricorn, okay, yeah, you've got the twins with the 9 of Swords. Okay, so this is your house of career, fame, and reputation. So maybe this is something that's connected to a job, or this is also the house of the father for some people. But I feel like it's more got to do with your legacy, how you want to be seen in the world. So there's some kind of a connection or some kind of a partnership here. And you've got the 9 of Swords, so there's a worry. Now, maybe this connects back to what's going on here with the Emperor. Maybe there's some friction here. Maybe there's a sense of somebody trying to gain control of a situation. Or maybe there's just worry about what's going to happen. Okay, I don't normally translate this as the house of the father. I think for somebody, not necessarily everybody in this reading, the fact that I've got the 5 of Swords down in the mother house and the 9 of Swords in the father house, with this twins and this Isis, this very 2-oriented energy, I can't help but to feel that there could be concern about somebody's parents here. So this may not just be mom, this may be mom and dad, and, and maybe this codependent child, adult child, I would say. Children are obviously dependent, and then that's normal, but I don't know. So this is either has to do with a business partnership, or it has to do with a father connection or something. I don't know. I just feel like there's multiple people involved here. There's father energy over here, or this could just be a business partner, or even a spouse, or somebody who may be connected to your career or how you're seen. And there's some kind of a worry here. The thing about the Nine of Swords is there may be a worry about somebody, and oftentimes Nine of Swords shows up when we're worried about things that never happen. Okay? It's more the mental energy that we say yes, but, and what if. So keep that in mind with this situation. If this connection that you're cutting here is somehow connected to this relationship up here, and again, there's strong Capricorn, so this could be another Capricorn that you're dealing with, potentially. There's definitely a sense of, you may be worried about things that are not going to happen, okay? Because you're also getting these strong things cards of, yes, this is stable. Don't worry about this. So I don't know. There's some situation where I think there's a lot of worry. Maybe you've been debating with somebody and not getting anywhere. And this feeling of needing to take control of somebody or somebody's life. And you need to learn to flow more, okay? You need to learn to flow more. You need to take a good solid look at how things are. And you need to move away from this kind of conflict and this stalemate. Yeah, so over here in your Aquarius house, which is the 11th, this is about your goals, your hopes, and your wishes. And the goals, hopes, wishes, and also your friendships and your social networks. Yeah, air with the Ten of Swords. Okay, so we're potentially not only looking at somebody in family, because family can apply to this house as well. Potentially somebody in a friend group as well. But there's definitely the sense of bringing something to an end. Ten of Swords is saying something's got to end. And I feel like actually what's coming into my mind is that for the fulfillment of your goals, your destiny, where you're going, which is what this house has to do with. Again, this is this Aquarian future you're moving towards. Something definitely has to come to an end here, and you have to set yourself free. Air is about movement and change. Air also suggests that the changes are not going to be as severe and earth-shattering as we think that they're going to be. This can also indicate new friendships that are coming in, or new associations that may be healthier. But there's definitely something here, whether it's a toxic friendship, toxic situation with a family member, there's something that needs to come to an end. Could be even a toxic love relationship. Maybe somebody's trying to control you here, and this is your test. You need to walk away. Whatever it is, whatever the situation is, because again, general reading, it's going to apply, mean different things to different people. I feel like you are moving towards independence. That's the bottom line here. You need to be free. You need to be free. You need to be going with what works for you, what works in the heart space, not what you feel your obligations are, or what other people have told you are, or what your obligations. Yeah, this is you. This is a new you, okay? That maybe you're reluctant to show to people, because it's going to be a big shock to them. Maybe you are somebody who's always let everybody else kind of dictate who you are, and now you're finally going, nope. So yeah, definitely a strong sense of that here. Okay, so what you fear. Okay, this is all the stuff connected with you. This is Earth, and this is the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles has to do with something that's moving slowly. So maybe there's changes you feel that need to be made, but maybe you feel like things are not going at a fast enough pace for you. There could be concerns about money or finances here. Both of these together definitely seem to indicate concerns about stability, financial stability. So maybe there's a case where maybe you are the person who's reliant, and maybe it's time for you to cut loose and do your own thing. I mean, the Chariot is taking control of your own chariot, okay? So, and so maybe there's people who are trying to say to you, oh no, you can't make it on your own. I mean, that's another angle of this too. You may not be the one who's doing the supporting. You may be supported by somebody else, and you may be getting pushed back when you are trying to break away and do your own thing. So, yeah, there are unconscious concerns about security, and you are an earth sign, so, or you are earth dominated, so you are always going to worry about money. So just take it from a Taurus. You are always going to be worried about money. It doesn't matter. I mean, no matter how much you tell yourself, we just got to go with the flow of the universe, you're always going to worry about security. But the general thing is like, look, you just need to sit down, look at the facts, get things together, and see where your heart is and where you're really feeling guided to go. Overall, you have fire with the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, this is purging some kind of an arrangement where you are being supported by somebody else, okay? Six of Pentacles is about charity, about receiving charity from somebody or giving it. It can go either way. You tell me which way it goes. If you feel like leaving me a comment on this, feel free, because I'm curious to know what this is going to mean for certain people. But this is about purging. This is, let's burn up what doesn't make sense anymore, and let's step into our own fire and our own power, okay? This is, being fired up to do what you want and purging what no longer belongs. So yeah, there's definitely a strong energy here, Capricorn, of you not letting other people burden you, or you cutting loose from somebody else. You don't need to be in a codependent situation in either direction. Okay, so let's see what the Essential Oil Oracle says for you this week. Sorry about this coughing. This is really annoying tickle that I have in my throat. Let's see. Okay, so Capricorn, what does Capricorn need to know this week? Okay, so these are Essential Oil Oracle cards, which if you're on my Instagram, you see I put these up pretty much every day. And so this is the name of an oil or an oil blend, and this is blue tansy oil. The word on it is ignite, and boy, you got this, you got the fire right in the middle of your reading, right? And you got ignite. Okay, the trigger statement is, where do I go from here? The true statement is, I allow life to flow through me. Wow. Inspiration has arrived and will work through you as you move forward. Yes, that's a good summary of this reading. You need to go with your own inspiration. Yes, you are embarking on a new path. Maybe you don't know where you're going. You need to allow that flow. You need to think differently. Think outside the box. You're not necessarily going to be doing things the same old way. There's a lot of Capricorn. Actually, Pluto's moving out of Capricorn, okay? So I feel like this is actually a new chance for you, Capricorn, because now, Pluto is not in there messing up your house and creating all of this friction. It's now moving into Aquarius and allowing you to move into a new space and to think differently about things. So this is actually a great opportunity for you, I think. So thanks very much for watching. If you found this reading helpful, please do hit the thumbs up. Do leave me a comment on some of this, because I'm terribly curious about what's happening with both you and Sagittarius in particular. And also, please subscribe to the channel if you want to get regular video updates, and just make sure you hit the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching. See you next week.